The best campfire stories are told where there are no campsites, racks, running boards, and performance parts built to haul all your camping gear to the toughest to reach destinations. Get real deals on real parts for camping and adventure at xjtalk.com. Howdy-ho, Jeepers. It's time for another Jeep Talk Show episode, and I want to start by saying this is our the end of our 15th year and the beginning of our 16th year. Yep, we've been doing this show for 15 years, a full 15 years, and December 15th is our 16th, or is that the 16th? Yeah, the 16th anniversary. That's right? Or is it our 15th anniversary? I think it's our 16th. Damn it, I'm saying 16. And tonight we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go through our some of the Instagram things posts that I've found that I think you will find interesting. And let's start with Tony Pellegrino.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tony Pellegrino. I'm the founder of GenRite Offroad. GenRite is short for Genuine Ideas Engineered Right.
I had no idea that that's what that stood for. Tony's been on the show a number of times, and I never asked that question, what GenRite is.
Aftermarket stuff for Jeeps. We've got a long history of off-roading and off-road racing. And right now, if you've got...
Oh, and one of our episodes with Tony talks a lot about the off-road racing. I've never had a lot of interest in it, but talking to Tony, that does this off-road racing, it was very, very interesting hearing everything that they have to do to be off-road racing in a Jeep.
Check us out.
So I want to say that I really like being able to get to the owner of the company. And many times, and you guys have been through this, where a company gets sold to an investment firm or something, and maybe the quality of the parts or what they're coming out with doesn't hold up to the way it was when there was somebody in charge that was concerned about their name being associated with the parts that were being created. Or the whole turnkey system. I think it's just better overall. That's not 100%. But I understand people build something and then they want to cash out and maybe go wheeling 24/7. I don't know, but I really like it. I much prefer dealing with a company like GenRite. That the guy that started it is there and still running it. And if he turns it over to his son in the future, I think the product will probably be just the same, as long as there's one person making the decision for the company and they have the right mindset. Frankly, I don't think Tony would give it to anybody, would give it to his son unless his son had the right mindset. He may do it a little differently, but I think that overall it's still going to be good. But they have great parts. They are a little pricey. A lot of aluminum stuff. If you guys want aluminum skid plates, check out their roll bar cages. I really enjoyed watching him do the roll bar for the TJ.
Get ready to take your JL Wrangler to the next level with MetalCloak's bolt-on rear.
So let me ask you guys, we've had discussions about this on the roundtable. Are long arms still necessary? Certainly with the XJ and the TJ, maybe even the YJ. Although I don't know if getting rid of the leaf springs on the YJ is the right thing to do. But is it something that you still need on an LJ or a JT? The control arms are much longer. Jeep has engineered these things where they have a much better ride and better articulation. I still love long arms. I think they're great.
We are here at SEMA 2020.
I was really excited to see this from SteerSmarts. Having SteerSmarts steering components on the 2021 Jeep Talk Show Gladiator, I have learned firsthand installing these things. Super beefy.
And what vehicle platforms.
This seems like a natural progression going with a suspension system.
And it has our Summit chassis system on it. And the reason that we call it a chassis system...
I'd like to get Jay from SteerSmarts back on the show because I'd like to ask him some details about the suspension system they're selling. They're calling it Rome. I think that's Rome. And I don't know if that means that it is a partnership between SteerSmarts.
It's going to be your top tier.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if SteerSmarts likes it, it's got to be good. Romer.
You come with either Bilstein 5100 or you can option out the 8100s. It's going to have springs.
5100s are nice shocks.
3.5.
I've got those on the
It's also
XJ.
going to have front and rear sway bars.
I don't know that I need a sway bar because the factory one seems to be working just fine.
It has a lot of overlanding stuff.
But having a SteerSmarts red
It's going to benefit you as well
sway bar would be nice.
With the extra weight being up high, if you got a rooftop tent or anything like that, it's going to help to reduce that for you as well.
Yeah, check it out, SteerSmarts.com. I'm very excited about this. I think it's neat when you can go to one place and get everything you need.
You can see right here on your front.
All right. Oh, here's another SteerSmarts picture. Nothing to see here except just snow and a Jeep. And I think it's so cool in the dim light with the additional lighting on the Jeep. And of course, you can see the SteerSmarts parts there. I know there's many of you that are out there in the snow belt and the area of snow and the rust belt and all that stuff that hate the snow, but I think it is just gorgeous. I'd love to drive the Jeep, the Gladiator in the snow. And maybe that'll happen one of these days as soon as we hit the lottery and we can just go driving anywhere we want.
Give me a nod.
Here's my nod.
Unofficial use only. We are at the beautiful Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. We're outside here in the.
So this is a while back, last August.
Hundreds and thousands.
But I had to bring this up because Greg is building some really cool things.
YJL grille.
Yes, you're seeing what you're seeing there. Square headlights on a modern Jeep.
Holders and a few other things right here at the show with a show special. However, if you just go online and you type in your promo code SMJI for Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion,
I wonder if that still works.
Show discount for the next couple
I'd
days.
try it.
So if you're not able to make it to this show, which you should, you can
Unofficialuseonly.com. Check out the store.
Everything else, just check out social media. Follow the hashtag Smoky Mountain.
Now, the YJL grill that Greg is standing in front of does not come painted. DNA Dirk, I believe, is the gentleman that
comment, share, and subscribe.
is the one that painted this for his wife Nicole, and it looks gorgeous. He painted the whole Jeep, which you don't have to do. You can just have the grill painted. But it comes black, and it comes with the headlights and the headlight buckets, and it's very easy to install. And if for some strange reason you don't like it, it's very easy to uninstall. But I think you'll like it because people will do a double take that you have a square headlight modern Jeep. They won't understand it. It'll confuse them.
Hey guys, it's Luna and Marlon from Offroad and Chill, and we're super excited to announce.
I don't know if you guys knew about this or not, but Offroad and Chill is doing a partnership thing with Gear Vehicles. And that's Natalie. You recognize Natalie from our Flagship 2 episodes in the past.
They're going to wheel it across the country. Make sure you check them out because this is going to bring the adventure back to Jeep, and they are the ultimate adventure with Offroad and Chill. Can't wait to see what they do with it.
If you guys are at the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, make sure you check this beauty out at the Jeep Performance Park.
Well, some of these are old, but I think it's important if you don't already know about it. I think it's important that you know about it. Check out the Gear Vehicles. That is something that Natalie is spearheading through High Lift Off-Road, and I think you'll be very impressed with the Gear Vehicles. It's basically they take a Jeep straight from Jeep, and then they put the modifications on it. You can go to the Gear Vehicles website and see exactly what they do. They have like Gear 1, Gear 2, Gear 3, and it even has the cat skin leather seats with the Gear icon into the seat. So this thing is done really, really well. And if you want your Jeep to stand out from the dealership, it's not like just getting a Rubicon. Everybody can get a Rubicon. And I guess technically everybody can get a Gear vehicle, but they're limited numbers available, and you will immediately be different than anybody else with any Jeep you decide to get from the dealership, any Gear vehicle that you decide to get from the dealership. Check it out. All right, well, I'll take a moment here to remind you about being part of the Jeep Talk Show community. You can join us on our Discord server and just chat with us through text, through images. You got questions about your Jeep, or you just want to share some information. Maybe you want to, maybe you don't have anybody to go wheeling with, and you'd like to get involved in some of the wheeling things that are going on with some of our Jeep Talk Show listeners and viewers. Just come over to Discord, make the I don't know that you need to initially introduce yourself, but you could certainly jump in when you see that there's a group going to Moab, like EJS, or recently we had a group of people that went to the Rubicon in California. So these things you can get in on. You just join in the conversation and make arrangements where to meet up. And yeah, I mean, it's there's nothing. It's always better to go wheeling with a group of people, and it makes you feel a little better whenever they know what they're doing or they act like they know what they're doing. It's a little safer, right? I think we had a total of 22 Jeeps that were Jeep Talk Show listeners and viewers at the EJS in 2025 this year.
So this is Death Wobble, pretty much the worst thing in the whole fucking world.
Should we tell her?
So this is Death Wobble, pretty much the worst thing in the whole fucking world.
That's not really Death Wobble. It's damn pretty close, but it seems to be not shaking as much as what I've experienced in the past. I mean, if you're concerned that you might be injured, that's not Death Wobble. When you're certain you're going to die, that's Death Wobble. So this is something from Jeep Beef, and I will tell you that if it is Death Wobble, and I suspect that you could fix this very easily, but you can the parts that come on the modern day Jeeps, the JLs, and I think the JTs, they are, I'm certain it's the JTs as well. They are. This is what I learned through our interview with Jay of SteerSmarts. The tubes look beefy, but they're thin, and that harmonic resonance can occur even though everything's tight, because the parts are thin walled and have a tendency to get that harmonic resonance going. So if you want to fix your even if it's not actual Death Wobble, but you get some shimmy out of it, especially wandering on the freeway, check out SteerSmarts, SteerSmarts.com, and you put that stuff on there, and I will almost guarantee you, because you could always do something wrong, I will almost guarantee you that all your Death Wobble will be gone, probably for at least 100,000 miles or more. Just check them out over at SteerSmarts, and they'll let you know how long you should be able to go without any concerns for Death Wobble. Oh, here we go. I don't think this is the same video. That's Death Wobble. So basically that front end suspension is cycling back and forth at harmonic resonance. And look at there, that's a foreign license plate. So Death Wobble can happen anywhere. It's weird. It is a weird feeling. Congress was actually talking about outlawing solid axle vehicles, front solid axle vehicles, because of Death Wobble. Yeah, mind your own goddamn business.
I had SteerSmarts to begin with.
Oh, here we go.
To upgrade and go with something bigger. I like the aluminum tie rod. I like the aluminum drag link. It looks good. It's real beefy looking. Yeah, man, I just got tired of all the slack in the steering, the rattling from the tie rod.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing, the slack in the steering.
It's like, I could hear it. The knocking and rattling, it used to drive me crazy. And then the slack in the steering, it's like when I'm going down the highway, I'm just constantly doing this.
Yeah.
To stay straight.
Boy, try doing that over 19 hours going to Moab. It's not a fun thing to do. You want to just point the thing and let it go.
And trying to dial my steering in and get my steering wheel straight with that lock nut was a fucking nightmare. And I never got it right. I mean, my steering wheel was cocked a little bit, and I just gave up. With the SteerSmart, they have just these brackets on the end. And
exactly.
You don't have no lock nuts, so you just unloose.
I hate lock nuts.
Turn it a little bit.
It's something you got to check.
Back down. I just turned it, drove down the road a little bit, tweaked it here, tweaked it there, got it perfect, and locked it in. It took me maybe one trip around the neighborhood. There's a little straight stretch. I'm really glad that I went back with SteerSmart, made in America. Can't go wrong. No more playing the steering. Super happy with my Jeep now. I could tell, right away.
So I can say that I feel very lucky that the first suspension, I'm sorry, I keep saying suspension, the first steering component modification that I made to the Gladiator was SteerSmarts, and that is thanks to Jay at SteerSmarts for sending me that stuff. Because it's hearing this guy is like, he had the SteerSmarts, he wanted to go with something bigger, and I would assume that he just went back with the SteerSmarts stuff that he already had. Could you imagine though that if you sold it on Facebook Marketplace or something, realized your mistake and then had to buy it all over again? Save yourself some money. And this is not a paid ad for SteerSmarts. Save yourself some money and go with the good components to start with. This is like lift kits, doing lifts on your XJ or your TJ. You always want to go an inch, 2 inches higher, because that's what's going to happen anyway. You're going to save yourself money just by going to the size lift that you think's too big. You learn as you go, and of course, you always have a tendency to go with larger tires over time, so it helps in that area too.
It's so cool that you spend time in the garage.
Now, you probably recognize April from our Flagship 2 episodes, and you may recognize Shanna, who's been on the show in our Chick Chat episodes.
For Matt's Off-Road Recovery, who's another YouTube channel, a dear friend of ours. And they commissioned Colt a while ago, but he had to wait until the off-road games were over and everything before and after Easter Jeep before he could start. Right. So right now he's taking a Suzuki Samurai and he is building it into a recovery rig, a mini wrecker for Matt's business.
Now, this is Women's Off-Road Warriors, and it's kind of like a Chick Chat thing with April. And Shanna is the guest here.
On side-by-side trails and to recover side-by-sides and smaller rigs that their big wrecker and the banana and everything can't get on.
It's so cool that you spend time in the garage with your husband.
I've had a little bit of an opportunity when we were recording the Chick Chat episode. I had a little bit of an opportunity to speak with Shanna while I can't remember, it was Amber that was interviewing her. Amber had to go off and do something, or her internet dropped or something like that, so I got to talk to Shanna a little bit. Very interesting person. You should follow her. Shanna, damn it, I can't remember offhand now, but Shanna Colt Builds. I mean, you can certainly find her by going to Instagram and looking for Colt Builds, and you'll see her associated with those posts, I'm sure. Okay, so we interviewed Bad Flag here recently, and it's a suction cup connection. You can see it straight on the glass there. So if you don't want to mount something permanently, or maybe you'd like to move your flag from vehicle to vehicle, I mean, we were just talking about April. She's got a I think it's a JK, maybe it's a JL, and a JT, so she could literally move her flag from vehicle to vehicle, depending on what she's doing. Yeah, badflag.com. Check them out. Oh, here's Greg and Roger. Gee, I forgot Roger's name. Greg and Roger going to SEMA from Michigan, 2,400 miles on mopeds.
Stop in Moab.
Oh, God. I didn't know they were going to stop in Moab. This is beautiful.
We had to wake up, get ourselves to Moab, do a little trail riding.
Look at that place. If you guys have never been to Moab, you need to go. Whether it's a Jeep or not, it's just absolutely, it's otherworldly.
I've never been here. I've never been this far out west in the sticks or anything like that. And this is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, how do you like that view?
The view's unreal.
19-hour drive from the Houston area.
Check out.
Got my wife to go 2023, I think, and she was just amazed. Make your spouse go. Make your loved one go with you.
We've raised about $2,000 at this point. We really need people to step up their game. Break out your wallet. Donate $5 or $10 or whatever's comfortable.
This helps SEMA Cares. None of the money that's donated goes to Greg or anybody else associated with this. All goes to SEMA Cares. Yep, there you go. You may still be able to. To submit your money to the SEMA Cares funds over at unofficialuseonly.com. All right, so I stopped this. I'm gonna flip it.
Drop it like it's hot. Like we're about to drop these prices. You can get rid of your icky nets.
Now, I have these on the Gladiator, and yes, damn it, I paid for them. It wasn't a freebie. It looks factory. It looks like what Jeep should have been putting on from the factory. I'm gonna let this thing run again. You need to see this. Not this part.
These prices. You can get rid of your icky nets.
So you got the nets. And look at that.
The new UUO door pockets.
I mean, and then this is the one for the JK that just came out. Yeah, these things are really, really nice, and they're not. They don't install like screw-on type thing. You got to take the door panel off and drill out some of the plastic bits that's melted, holding those nets on there. It's not just like some of these things. I'll just say the shitholes that people are selling that have the molly holes and stuff on it, where you just screw into the plastic. I mean, you can get those if you like, but I wouldn't pay $300 for a pair of those things. They look like shit, and I mean, but there's nothing wrong with having an off-road utility vehicle with stuff on it that looks like shit. But frankly, I'd rather have something that looked factory. That's very, very useful. So. Unofficialuseonly.com, give it a try, and yeah. So Greg's coming up with several things. You should check out that website anyway. I like this. How to be happy. Buy an old Cherokee. If you want to get into Jeeping, or maybe you don't want to wheel your high dollar modern day Jeep, a Cherokee is a great alternative, as is a TJ. Oh, listen to that sound. I got a question for you guys. What's the deal with the people put their what do you call it? Off-road lights? No, the rock lights right over the top of the tire. What exactly is that supposed to show you as a driver? Even if as a spotter, what is it supposed to show you? Why in the world do you want to light up the top of your tire? Move those fucking rock lights so that the spotter can, if you're spotting at night, you're off-roading at night, move those lights where it helps the spotter or you forward of the tire. Just my opinion. You tell me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So again, this is a foreign country, so maybe they do rock lights differently there. They don't, I'm sure. I love this one. More Cherokee warm humor. The Cherokees are amazing. They're kind of a pain in the ass in hot environments, but they're great station wagons, four-wheel drive station wagons. And if you don't already know, basically the drivetrain is exactly the same on a TJ. So if you have any experience with a TJ, maybe you had one in the past, maybe you've heard how capable they were and still are off-road, you get basically the same thing in a longer wheelbase and a Cherokee. They're just amazing vehicles. And I will begrudgingly show off this Grand Cherokee. I don't care for the streamlined look on a Jeep. I think that's counterintuitive to what a Jeep is. But certainly people have been modifying Grand Cherokees, and they're very impressive, and they do very well. And many of them have V8s, which gives you that additional horsepower. There's several things you got to be careful about, like aluminum center sections that can be weak on the front axle. I think some of them are all four-wheel drive, but these came, I believe this is a WJ. I don't really study the Grands that much, but the WJ, I know you could get a straight six, the legendary 4.0 that Jeep built over 3 million of. Oh, and this is a good one, a good reminder. Now, this isn't a Jeep, but it shows you how you should use, at least teach yourself about recovery, because this luckily just damaged the windshield and didn't go very far, like into a passenger or to the right there and into the driver. But don't use cheap stuff. I mean, I know you get stuck or somebody gets stuck. You got to get them out. You can't go buy new stuff. So get it before you go. And Factor 55 is a great place to get stuff. I really like Factor 55 stuff. They're now part of Warren. So it's going to be good if Warren purchased them. Let's see what else we got here. Yep, ratchet straps or sling straps with metal ends are not to be used for recovery. Amen, brother. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's a lot bigger hook than what I thought was on there. Factor 55 teaches closed winching systems, or closed recovery systems, so that you don't have that cheap piece of metal that's supposed to keep something connected to something else. Oh, wouldn't this still be cool if you could get one of these things? How many people out there would buy one of these things, especially if it was inexpensive, like a couple of $1,000s, and you're just waiting there, waiting for the delivery. The thing that surprises me about this is maybe it's there and I just don't see it. Where's the damn axles? I see a body, an ice body for that era of Jeep, but where's the axles? Oh, you're going to have axles. Of course, if it doesn't come with axles, you just say, honey, I didn't realize it didn't come with axles. I need to get some Curry axles or Dynatracs to go on this thing. That's how you do it. All right, we're going to mute that music because I bet you that'll get us a strike. So some cool KC stuff. I mean, KC was around whenever I first got into off-road vehicles. In 1983 short wheelbase dark blue, midnight blue Chevy pickup truck. And I had KC lights, the incandescents, of course, back in 83, 84. That was long before LEDs, or at least before the LED lights we have now. But KC, they have been around a long, long time. And it's I think that it would be cool to have the KC covers and then put it on whatever light you buy. I mean, that's what we like the KCs for anyway, right? The notoriety, like, look at me, I'm special. I've got KC lights or KC light covers. All right, I thought this was really cool.
World War II Jeep, so let's show you. All right, here we go.
This was confusing until I thought about it, and it makes perfect sense, especially if you're in war, and of course not during a firefight, I wouldn't think, but
and then if I flip them up,
you have a built-in light so that you can work on the vehicle that's probably allowing you to survive.
Passenger side,
look at that. That's cool. And I mean, I know there's ways that you can do engine bay lighting now that don't require this, but how cool would it be if our modern Jeeps did that?
Is a brilliant piece of engineering. And then when you're done working on the engine at night, you can flip the headlights down. Now, of course, the engine is dark, but you can see where you're going.
You got to be able to screw those things in, though. I mean, you can't. Oh yeah, I see a little slot there. So I was going to say you couldn't just flip them down because especially. Some of the terrain that they were going over in Europe and everywhere the World War II Jeeps the Willis Jeeps were being used, that light would bounce around. So I'm sure you flip it down and there's probably a wing nut that goes in there. Yeah, I see the mount there at the bottom. Yes, it's winter time, but should you put the top back on? I say no. Oh gee, this is so funny. That's very cold, and he's got the windshield down. That's even better. Oh, I just love the McLeod red. I'm brain farting. Pressure plate. Yes. It's just so sexy. These things are so neat and they're built so well. The heavy duty flywheels, everything to it. Oh, and for you guys that don't know, this is for a standard transmission, not an automatic. So, Jeep has a lot of problems with their manual, the clutch systems. So it just absolutely makes sense to get a kit from McLeod. or center force, and put a heavy duty flywheel on there. Helps you off road. That heavy duty flywheel keeps the engine from dying so easily, which I can well imagine is a major pain in the ass whenever you're trying to wheel, initially anyway, wheeling a manual transmission Jeep off road. But yeah, the sad thing is that, take plenty of pictures, because nobody's going to see this beautiful red clutch system from McLeod. But you'll know it's there. I mean, how many things do you add to your Jeep that you only can appreciate because you were there? Oh, this would be fun, wouldn't it? And TerraFlex suspension. We recently did another interview with Dennis Wood of TerraFlex, and it's always great talking to Dennis. I told him he's a honorary co-host now. He's been on the show so many times. TerraFlex makes some really cool things. I especially liked the interview that we did a couple of interviews ago with Dennis, where he explained that they reached out to a shock manufacturer, and they said, "No, we're not interested. We're not interested in working with you guys. We're doing just fine selling this stuff on our own." So they developed their own shocks, and then steering stabilizers, and this, that, and the other. It's really cool stuff. I mean, I'd love to have some with the, and you have to have the remote reservoirs. Not because I drive off-road high speed, but just because it looks cool. The kids like seeing the additional stuff, the additional cylinders. I'm sure, you can listen to the interview, and it does help on-road and off-road as well. But mainly you see that stuff for high-speed desert type races. But then again, you don't normally see solid front axles for high-speed desert. Anyway, I love the idea of the adjustability on the shocks and the steering stabilizer. I think my wife would enjoy the steering stabilizer changes the most, because it would. I think it gives you a little bit more confident feel for the steering. Oh, I like the JKS Manufacturing, who this is from. They make some really good stuff. I have the quick disconnects, since I don't have the Rubicon version on the Gladiator, and I have to manually disconnect my steering stabilizer. I said that wrong. What is that thing? Not steering stabilizer. Sway bar. Thank you. Somebody was yelling sway bar. I heard you. Yep. Check out JKS Manufacturing. None of these are paid advertisements, by the way. It's just stuff that I've used or people that I've spoken to in our interviews, and I've been very impressed with their products. So I don't think I'm going to ever return to SEMA unless I'm in a booth where I don't walk around, even though I like walking around. But walking around is so tiring. I sweat like a pig in the air conditioning. I probably would have to train a couple of years before I could go to SEMA again and walk around. It's hell getting old, people. But what a great thing. If you've never been to SEMA, go while you're young. Now, I don't know if this is something that's been around for a while, but this pisses me off. This is Quadratech, and they have duck cannons. Now, how many times have I talked about duck cannons on the show? Like taking a t-shirt cannon and modify it for ducks. So whenever you go up and there's a duck on your Jeep and you don't like it, you just launch that little motherfucker. Don't do that, because you just that's trash at that point. You're littering. I like the guy with the. I didn't notice it before. One guy has oh my God, I'm brain farting. What is the thing with the rubber bands on the side and I'm completely forgetting. You need to put it in the comments. What is that thing? Slingshot. Thank you. So you can still comment about it though. He's using a slingshot, which is a beautiful idea. It's a lot smaller than that little cannon thing, but yeah, getting some distance there with the ducks. In this episode's realtruck.com, or realtruck.com/blog, we're going to be talking about Mattel and Real Truck collaborate on a one-of-a-kind Matchbox Jeep Wrangler scheduled to be unveiled at the 2025 SEMA show. Don't panic. We know it's already happened. Custom build will be revealed during the live broadcast press conference at the Real Truck's booth on Tuesday, November 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. The good news is you can go look at it now. You don't have to wait. Vehicle to be auctioned off at Barrett-Jackson's 2026 Scottsdale auction, which hasn't happened yet, with proceeds benefiting Richard Rawlings Gas Monkey Foundation. That's nice. I like that. So Real Truck Inc. is a global aftermarket product and accessory brand and a digital destination for Jeeps, Broncos, and off-road enthusiasts. Today announced a new collaboration with Matchbox. The brands are joining forces to create a one-of-a-kind, heavily modified Jeep Wrangler to be unveiled at the 2025 SEMA show in Las Vegas. After SEMA, the one-to-one custom build will be auctioned off at Barrett-Jackson's auction in Scottsdale, Arizona, with all proceeds benefiting Richard Rawlings Gas Monkey Foundation. Built by Dosh Off-Road in Chandler, Arizona, the 2018 Jeep Wrangler JLU is outfitted with premium Real Truck accessories and custom Matchbox and Husky liner exteriors, featuring the build to include Real Truck Super Lift 4-inch lift kit, Husky liners, weather-beaten floor liners, Rugged Ridge HD stubby front bumper, XCR rear bumper, roof rack, amphib snorkel system, and many other accessories to transform this into the ultimate adventure build. A scaled-down toy replica of the build will also be available for sale through the select retail partners starting April 2026. You can read this entire blog entry simply by going to realtruck.com/blog and search for Jeep Wrangler scheduled to be unveiled at the 2025 SEMA show. And of course, you can see it now.
Porque es demasiado difícil.
¿Dónde está Superman?
No se puede. Las únicas limitaciones viven en tu mente. Cada vez que te dices que no puedes, estás frenando tu propio crecimiento. Hoy borra esas palabras de tu vocabulario. No importa qué tan difícil parezca, todo es posible. Si estás dispuesto a luchar por ello.
That's what you need when you go off-road, is a film crew, or at least somebody that can keep you in the center of the shot, even during traumatic incidents. You guys know what I'm talking about, where the cameraman always lets the camera point to the ground while there's a rollover, and you're like, no, keep it on the Jeep. Or better, Toyota. This is impressive. This is MotoBuilt, and you guys know how much I love MotoBuilt. I got a lot of MotoBuilt stuff on the Gladiator, and look at the size of this facility. They do beautiful work, and I think a lot of that has to do, and it's a team thing, I know, but I think a lot of it has to do with Bender being there and being in charge of these products and the welding and stuff. Bender does a wonderful job. I didn't know he was there until I just commented to MotoBuilt one day whenever I got my rear bumper for the Gladiator, that the braces that ties it into the frame on the back of the bed, but there's a little area there that goes between the wheel and the back of the bed that's you can damage severely if you do not have a bumper or something there that protects the bed. And I bought a bumper from MotoBuilt to make sure that that area was protected. And you did have to purchase the tie-ins between the bumper and the frame separately, or in addition to. And when I got those things, and this goes back to the stuff that nobody ever sees. You're the only ones ever going to see it. And it was just gorgeous. The welding on it, I'm not a welder, but just looking at it, it looked like it was just beautiful. And I commented that it was, that everything looked so good. And Bender replied with thank you. And that's when I found out that he worked at MotoBuilt, and he actually did the welding for that bumper, at least for the braces. So if you're not familiar with MotoBuilt, check them out. I did a lot of research before I decided what to go with. The only thing I had bought stuff for in the past was the TJ and the XJ. So the Gladiator was brand new. I did not know who to go with. And the TJ and XJ people weren't doing Gladiators. They weren't doing Wranglers. So did a little research, liked what I saw at MotoBuilt, bought the front stubby bumper, Loved the build quality, loved how easily it was installed onto the Gladiator, and then bought a bunch of other stuff from MotoBuilt. Again, not paid sponsorship, just good shit that I'd like for you to know about and check out. So I said in a recent episode that I'm not a big fan of wheeling videos. This stuff is interesting though to me because I think I look at it like, would I be brave enough to do this in my Gladiator? And the answer is hell no. And when I say brave enough, not for me personally. What do I care? Nothing's going to happen to me. If I leave my elbow out, I might get a scrape. But the Jeep, oh my God. Now this is a purpose-built Jeep, you can tell. So they kind of built it to be able to do this kind of stuff. So they're not so concerned about damaging it. At least that's my guess. Yeah, this is just fun, especially when they succeed and then you see it and you go, wow, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think that was going to work out. It just makes a big difference whenever you're right there and seeing it. I still say that I think if you were able to do the virtual reality 3D type stuff, it would give you a better sense of what it was that was being done and what the impressive part of it is. The height of these ledges and the closeness of things. Yeah, I don't know. Someday that'll happen, and then wheeling videos I think will be a lot more exciting. I was going to say expensive. They will be expensive as well. Now, I thought this was a cool idea. It's a nice cover for your drum brakes. And then I thought about it and went, drum brakes? Who has drum brakes anymore? Are there vehicles out there with still have drum brakes? I figured everything was disc these days. It's a neat idea. I mean, I don't know that they have these for the XJ, but the XJ certainly has drum brakes. The TJs have drum brakes. I think the YJs are drum brakes all around. So now all of these look like eight lug drum brakes. But yeah, how good would that look on your custom wheels, seeing that come out, or even just the carbon fiber looking one? I don't know that it's actual carbon fiber. Sometimes they lie just to make it look like carbon fiber. And there you can see it coming straight through. Looks a lot better than that drum, doesn't it? Oh, this is so scary when I see vehicles bouncing. I hate seeing rollovers. I mean, it's exciting, it's interesting. But it's just such a shame. It's a thing that we all worry about. And sometimes you see flops and rollovers that just don't make any sense. Like, how did that even happen? So the only thing good I can say about this video is it's a Toyota. It's still a vehicle. I hate seeing anybody's vehicle trashed. This one looked like it turned out okay, though, for the most part. I don't see a lot of damage on this thing. I see a mirror kind of lopsided there. But as far as something crushed and caved in, I mean, it doesn't look bad. All right, well, that's what we've got here for this portion. Certainly hope that if you're not watching this in the video, that you switched over. If you're on Spotify, you could just switch immediately from the audio only to the audio video and see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you should watch us on Spotify or just go to YouTube and check it out. xjtalk.com/YT as in YouTube will take you to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and please comment. Love the comments.
How many people?
And now our discussion on portals from our roundtable episodes.
I don't know. They're not in the market in the average wheeler avenue yet to where we honestly have the opportunity to see it.
Well, I think they're bigger on the West Coast.
Well, so are spinners.
I think they're bigger. Actually, I think they're bigger on Broncos because with the IFS, portals add a lot of strength that you don't get.
That's the guy. That's the guy we need to get some portals. John, you need to buy portals for your JK.
I was actually looking into it because not only, but I'm not going to. But I mean, the reason why is because you can run a lesser offset wheel because it's going to push it out further. And then you can also, the ground clearance you gain is underneath the diff. I mean, it's because you're
where you need
it. Right. So you get like IFS style ground clearance out of them. So, and as far as strength goes, I mean, breaking a weld portal, you got to be doing some serious shit to do that. Like,
Well,
I mean,
it's billet stuff. It's CNC. It looks like.
Well, maybe they were made in China.
Well,
put them together.
Let's see if they raise their prices due to tariffs, right?
Yeah, true.
But I mean, ultimately, the portals are really awesome, and the issue is all that extra lift and everything else. Like, I'd have to redo all of my shocks. I'd have to redo all of my control arms and everything. Because I mean, you're changing everything.
So John, what you need to do is buy a brand new Rubicon, JL Rubicon, and then put the portals on, and then you save all that money that you would do the lift, all that stuff.
Yeah, but my understanding was you didn't have to change anything with portals.
If I was going back to do it again, I'd probably start with the portals, because I've got probably more money than it would have cost to do that invested just by switching to Dana 60, Marine.
Oh yeah, no, you'd be perfect, because we'd hear you whining about all the money it cost you.
All right. YJL is a Liam.
All right, Henderson's here. Henderson's here. What do you think about portals for a Jeep, Greg?
It depends on the person who makes the portals.
74 weld.
Have they gotten past all of the issues that they had in the beginning?
I don't know.
From what I understand, yes.
Okay. Well, and that's pretty typical, right? In the beginning, there's bound to be some issues, but portals are really amazing as long as you do them right. So basically your typical portal gives you anywhere from a 4 to a 6 inch lift. So you don't need a big suspension lift anymore, right? So you can take a stock vehicle, like there was a Jeep called Immortal that we did. It was a JK, and I think it was 12 or 13. It had portals. It had a 2-inch lift and fit 42-inch tires. Right. So that's what you have to think about with portals, is it's coming with like a 5-inch lift.
Yeah.
Not only that, but additional maintenance, because you now have 4 essentially additional differentials on your vehicle. Because
you do. John's 100% right. You've got a lot of extra maintenance. So every Humvee in the world has portals, and you have to service those portals way more than you service your differential. So you have to change the fluid in them. You have to drain them. Sometimes they have yellow bearings, so you have to use special fluid. There's the spindle has to be tightened every so often. So there is to do it on the Humvee takes about 5 hours to service the portals, and you're doing it every 20,000 miles.
And that's probably a good reason. Probably the big reason why more people don't do it is because, I mean, people don't even want to buy drive shafts that you got to grease yourself anymore.
So I think Liam should get some portals for his YJ, his red YJ. I think that'd be really cool. Portals with square headlights.
You want to know a secret? If you get portal axles for the 5-lug Polaris vehicles, it will bolt right onto that Jeep. And then you can get side-by-side portals on your Jeep. And the side-by-sides weigh as much as the Jeeps now, so they'll last a little while. But yeah, so there's huge benefits to portals. If you look at the Unimogs or the Humvee or a lot of the other military vehicles that used a portal, your ground clearance is just disgusting.
Yes.
Right. So you don't have, your differential is no longer even close to in the way. In fact, with a set of 35s on portals, so like a no-lift vehicle, let's say a JK, no-lift JK on 35s or 37s, you have more ground clearance than somebody driving a 42-inch tire. So you don't need those giant tires anymore, which you never needed them in the first place if you just learned how to drive. So,
but they look cool.
Yeah, so you can get away with so much more because you have the ground clearance. You don't need the massive tires. And the portal is also gear reduction. So it takes some of the stress and strain off of your typical drivetrain. If you have, let's say, your average Jeep, even if you have bigger axles, and you've put 513 gears in them, the 513 gears are much weaker than the factory 410 gear. Well, with the portals, you have that 373 or 410 gear, and the portal is your gear reduction. So the maintenance all goes out there and comes away from your differential. It's also taking the load off of your axle shafts and off of your drive shaft, and it's putting it all into the portal box. Mm-hmm. So there's great things about portals, and then there's detractors like the additional maintenance.
Well, I know they're really expensive, but we were talking earlier that you don't have to do a lift. You don't really, I mean, you're going to change tires because you just have to fill up that space and have better off-road capabilities. But there's no lift other than tires. Of course, it goes 8 lugs, at least on the 74 weld. So you got to change wheels. I guess you could do it with a spacer adapter, but I hate spacers. So, but my point is, you don't have to re-gear. So there's lots of things that portals can save you money on the typical Jeep upgrades.
And there are portals that just attach to your factory axles. There's a company out of Germany that builds portals that attach right to your factory axles. Basically, it replaces the knuckle. I've installed those before. I've installed them on Jeeps, and I've installed them on AMG. What the hell is that AMG?
Oh, frick. The Mercedes.
Yeah, the Mercedes.
Freaking the rich person rectangle.
Yeah. So those portals are not. Yeah, G-Wagon. They're not inexpensive. They were $25,000 for a set of 4. But you got to remember that it takes the stress off of the factory axle and allows you to run that. Let's say you run a 37-inch tire with no lift or a 40-inch tire with no lift. It doesn't care that you're on a Dana 44 or that you're on a Dana 30. In fact, if you look at the Unimog axles, they're puny, but they haul a massive vehicle with massive payloads, and they don't break that often. So you can do it either way. Now, the 8-lug versions that you're talking about, they're on incredibly strong axles, so you can really put just stupid tires on them. But I don't know if it's necessary, right? If I was doing it and I had a Dana 44, I'd just put the portals on the 44 and run a 37 or 40-inch tire and not worry about it, because it's taking the stress and strain off of your drivetrain. It's also getting rid of your driveline angles. You lift a Jeep too far and you start having huge angles with your front driveline. You don't have that anymore with portals.
So how strong are they? I know it just depends, but how strong are they? I mean, if you were going to put this on your daily driver, would it be something would this have to be a dedicated off-road rig, or could you do it on your daily driver?
No, it's not a dedicated anything. In fact, they're, depending on the manufacturer, they're stronger than your factory components, right? And they take stress off of some of your factory components. So you can make it a win-win. It's really on what you want to use it for, but it does up the maintenance. So you are going to have more maintenance than your factory axle.
I could imagine you'd see some losses in driveline. So if you're counting pennies on fuel economy in your off-road rig, right, maybe you'll see a reduction.
Well, with more gearing and more stuff, you're going to see more parasitic drag, right?
Yeah, I think the parasitic drag is negligible when you're adding the electric tires.
Well, other thing to keep in mind is on the portals, you got to be careful whether you're getting a 2-gear cut or a 3-gear cut, because if you go with a 2-gear, like a lot of the German ones, like the Unimogs and everything else, you're actually running them in reverse.
No, 100%. But nobody's making a 2-gear one that bolts onto your factory axles. So
no, but if you're trying to save money and find some out of a junkyard, like off of a Unimog,
if you go buy a set of Unimog axles, they're not going to work for you, because when you put it in drive, you're going to go backwards. But yeah, I guess you could run them upside down as long as you fix the oiling on it, but then it wouldn't be raising your vehicle, it would be lowering it.
Oh, yeah. Ass dragger, yeah.
I do rescind my comment on the side-by-sides. I was thinking of the tracks, because the tracks, they bolt onto the hub, but the portals go into the spindle. So you can't. That's not the same.
Okay. So the one I've seen the most of with the portals, because I was doing some heavy research on this earlier, is really and truly the Broncos. If you have an IFS rig and you throw some portals on there, you get huge benefits. The benefits you get, we already have for the most part with our solid axles. Obviously not as extreme, but do still get them.
So why do you guys, portals sound like they're pretty cool, and overall you can save almost enough money and not doing a bunch of modifications to your Jeep. And overall, it just sounds like it's simpler and better. why don't we see more Jeeps off-road with portals? Do you guys think it's because they did all the modifications and now they don't want to add another $20,000 to all the Dana 60s and the super floats and all the rest of that crap? I mean, it just seems like it would be a great way to go with a stock Jeep.
When you got to unask, 20, like Greg said, $25,000, it's a lot easier to spend, save up for a couple of months and spend $7 or $8 grand on a lift kit, save up for a couple of months and spend, a couple thousand on this versus 25 grand right now.
You can get a lift kit for less than that, though. I mean, that's what I was just kind of thinking about. Because, I mean, you're not saving on wheels and tires because you already got to buy, you're already going to buy different wheels and tires, even with just a standard lift. I mean, so really all you're going to save on is the re-gearing of your differential and the lift kit. And I don't know, I want to say it was only...
Maybe drive line too, because a lot of times...
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, drive line too. So, but you drive line, you got your wheels and tires that you're already spending money on. You got re-gearing, but otherwise, I mean, what is a lift kit on average cost? I mean, I want to say
good Lord, I've seen some very expensive ones. I paid $1,600 for mine.
Well, I'm thinking like a 3.5 inch.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Like a high-end lift kit, you can get up around 10 grand.
Yeah.
Like if you're going all in, coilovers and all that.
Well, but on the portals, if you're running portals, your coilovers just get a lot smaller.
Well, you don't necessarily have to do it, but that's where I was saying, on the high end, like most of us aren't spending 10 grand out of the gate. We're probably going to spend 10 grand on lifts, because we're going to put one lift on, run it for a while, and we're going to change lifts. We're going to be in that 10 grand range eventually. But again, it's that $25,000 sticker shock. Like it's, you can lift wheel and tire a Jeep for 10 grand.
So I wonder if 74 Weld allows you to use multiple credit cards. That'd be a big help.
I mean, let's just say you pay $2 grand to have your axles re-geared. So that's $2 grand plus another $3 grand for like a 3.5 inch lift from MetalCloak. So now you're at $5 grand. I mean, the shocks, you're going to buy those for either direction you go. You're going to buy new shocks. Tires, wheels, you're going to buy those either way. So you're just still looking at $5 grand versus 25 grand. And that 25 grand doesn't include the wheels and tires, and it's not going to include shocks either.
I don't know if it's someone adding all that up and then making that decision. I think a lot of it is you don't know about portals until you're probably far into the game. You've already sank all that their money in, right? Because typically portals are thought of as Humvee deals or hardcore, rock crawlers that are running Ultra 4 or something. But by the time you find out what they are and kind of what's all about, you already sunk all that other money. So
yeah, you're already way upside down.
The best part is the people who already have a 6-inch long arm and 42s and blah 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 and Dana 60s and 70s, and then they go, I'll buy some portals, and then they realize that their tires look anemic and they have to take off all of that suspension that they already put on.
Yeah.
No. Then you get 54s.
Well, so when I was doing my research on it, I was looking at
are you listening, Rick?
Pairing that up with a. I was looking at pairing that up with a coilover change. So that let me basically keep because the control arms are adjustable. So if I just went with smaller coilovers, then it's not really a big deal. But now you're adding coilover costs to the portal cost.
Yeah.
You can get a Hemi for that, right? Like now you're in it for $30,000.
Well, I think it was Roger that was making this point earlier because we've been talking about this for a while. And I said, but that's what we're doing here on the show. We're letting the newbies know about portals. So whenever they go get that Rubicon, they'll just go straight to portals. Actually, I said we needed Keith on here. They had that air ride suspension that he had on there before he took it off and sent it back. Because Keith would do it.
Well, and another one you have to realize is if you've installed portals, so it adds a tremendous amount more strain to your control arms because you have a lot more rotational force with the axle.
Oh, interesting.
So you really want to revert back to the factory suspension because the factory control arm bushings are 1,000 times better than anything in the aftermarket. So if you have any form of aftermarket control arm or control arm bushing and Heim joints and all that crap, you're going to destroy them 20 times faster with a portal than you will the factory control arms.
Is destroying the factory control arms going to be a short life because of that? I mean, is it going to be something you have to do every couple of years or 3 years? Or I guess it just really depends on how you drive it.
Yeah, so the factory control arms are designed to last 250,000 miles. That's the design requirement for those bushings. Most of your aftermarket bushings are good for, maybe 20 or 30,000 miles before they need to be replaced. So the portal is definitely going to affect the factory control arms, in the factory control arm bushing, but you're taking a 250,000-mile control arm bushing and you're dropping the life expectancy to maybe 100,000 miles, where if you take your traditional aftermarket control arm bushing, if it's good for 20,000 miles, you'd be lucky if you get 10,000 miles before you have to replace it.
But you're still substantially better off to get the factory ones. Not only that, they're also much easier, much more accessible, and probably cheaper.
Would I be correct in assuming that since I believe the wheel bearing assemblies come off the front axle for the portals, that you don't have to worry as much about the side loading, the torque or the strain on the wheel bearing assembly with the larger tires? So
no, you don't have to, but you do have to realize that if you're installing them on factory axles, your front axle, your steer axle, the ball joint setup is going to have to change to whatever the portal dictates, and that does see additional load. So the factory inner C's, if you're doing it on factory axles, are not nearly as strong as like a Dynatrac, right? So if you were to upgrade your front axle to a Dynatrac, you really won't have any issues at all because the inner C's casting is so much stronger. But on the factory axle, the inner C's are anemic. So you're going to add a lot of side load to those. So
you wouldn't use on those aluminum ones.
So you're still adding up the modifications. You're not saving so much.
Are the inner C bracket, the weld-on brackets or braces, are those? Or do those make enough of a difference, Greg?
I didn't hear what you said. I apologize. Liam wouldn't shut the fuck up.
No, that's fine. Like the Arctic, like for the JO axles, they make those inner C brackets you can put on there to weld down to kind of brace them up. Do those make enough difference to?
Yeah, those. I mean, honestly, on any axle, those add a tremendous amount of strength as long as they're installed correctly. Because again, most people don't know how to weld mild steel to cast iron. So most people don't do it right. They don't take the ball joints out. They don't preheat. They don't use nickel rod. You have to install them right to really get the added strength. But I mean, even your regular Joe Schmo with a MIG welder who kind of knows what he's doing, it's still almost, I don't know, probably 30% stronger than factory. With a really proper weld, you're probably 50% stronger than factory. So you're getting strength, but now you're back to your axle tube diameter, right? So the factory axles aren't nearly as strong. They used to make a lot of sleeve kits for them. I haven't seen as many of those on the market today, but any of your truss kits, like if you do a full truss kit, you're definitely adding some really good strength to the factory axle. But again, if you're adding inner C's and you're adding a sleeve kit and you're adding a truss, just buy the damn Dynatrac housing.
So Greg, what's your opinion of the portals? Is it something that you would recommend that people do or stay away from?
Me personally, I'd love a set of portals, right? They're really, really nice, but I would do it. And like Jesse Haynes is working on some portals that start as a 9-inch. And so he uses a 9-inch center section and fabricates the entire housing. And then he uses actual Humvee portal boxes, and they're just disgustingly strong. So I would jump over those in a heartbeat, or even the other company that you've been mentioning. Yeah, I'd love a set of portals because I would do a super low lift. Like I would do no suspension lift. I'd add some bumps and I would enjoy the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm the weirdo that's still only going to run 37s because on a stock axle or the stock style axles, like a Dynatrac or, a 60 or whatever, I still only run 37s. So with a set of portals, I'd run 37s and I'd make the idiots on 54s look like morons.
Exactly. That's why
I'd have all the ground clearance.
I mean, I just found out about portals recently, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this stuff, because I know, I mean, I've been doing Jeep stuff for a long time, and I hadn't just run across it. And that's one of the reasons why I was asking. I don't see it used much out off-road.
It's expensive. It's not used a lot because it's expensive.
And everybody's already bought all their shit, which adds to it.
But it's been a technology that's been around since before we were born.
Yeah, I think it was Glenn that mentioned that the Humvee. I had no idea that was that comes standard on the Humvee, the military Hummer.
Well, yeah, Unimogs came out in the 50s, late 50s, early 60s. Portals have been around since way before even Unimog. Just the military, especially Mercedes, adopted them because tractors used them. And
interesting.
They really are incredibly strong when they're designed for the application. Unimogs, you can go on the YouTube and you can watch some videos of people in Germany and other places who bought surplus Unimogs, and they drag forests out.
Yeah, Unimogs are pretty cool.
But they're driving through mud that is literally neck deep, towing 10,000 pounds of logs with a stock Unimog. They really are, even though they're very small, they're incredibly strong.
Mm-hmm. A Unimog is a tank on tires.
Well, really, it's not. They're small, light vehicles. Like my Deuce and a half weighed 3 times what a Unimog weighs. And, the Unimogs are very small vehicles. People don't realize how small they really are. My Suburban is way bigger than a Unimog. But I owned a Unimog.
I just drove. It's not,
it had like a 98-inch wheelbase.
Yeah, your Suburban's longer. Unimog is like,
oh yeah, they're super tall.
So it's a small vehicle lifted to the sky.
Yeah, but same thing. They're really incredibly strong. And if you look at the size of the axles are puny. So there was a local guy here, actually Jared Petiprin, who owns America's Most Wanted 4x4. In, I want to say it was 2004, built a TJ on Unimog portals. And he had 40-inch tires on it with a factory lift on a TJ. And I mean, it was just disgusting. And they put a Hemi in it. But
well, of course.
But you can, you can get away with a lot with a set of portals. So yes, 100%, I would get a set of portals. I would run portals on something in a heartbeat because no lift, giant tire, all the ground clearance.
Yeah.
All right, Liam, go with your question.
Yeah, if you design the portal right and you put it at, you'd have to redesign it. You put it at an angle. Would it be a budget stretch?
Well, you could probably stretch an inch or two.
Because stretching a Jeep's expensive. You call Greg, and then he has to redo the whole frame, and then he sends you pictures
like
of
that.
Plate.
Oh, don't forget, we'd love to have you as a Patreon subscriber. It does put a little money in our pockets so that we can help continue doing the show. But really what it says is a thank you for all the hard work and entertainment that we provide here. It's one thing to listen to the show or watch the show, which we do appreciate. But when you take the extra step to let loose of a few bucks, $3 a month, it says like, not only do we like you, we love you. So consider being a Patreon subscriber. All right. Well, now let's get into our Nikki G. Nikki G has been with us a lot of the 16 years that we've been doing this. Really appreciate Nikki G. Nikki G, take it away.
Hey, this is Nikki G, and just want to let you guys know that I ran into a lamppost yesterday. Yeah, don't worry. I only sustained light injuries. I think we can do better than that. Had a girlfriend in college that was addicted to counting numbers. Yeah, I wonder what she's up to now. Yeah, joke's on you, I didn't go to college. I am 100% self-taught. That was the last of Tony's gallbladder. All right, boys and girls, chat you later. Have a good one. Bye.
By the way, Nikki G, Merry Christmas. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and thank you for all the hard work that you've done for us in 2025. Well, you heard me mention it earlier about Spotify. I mean, YouTube's nice. You can watch videos there. Hear the show. Every episode we do is available on YouTube. But I'm very impressed with Spotify because Spotify allows you to listen or watch. And sure, you can do the same thing with YouTube. Although I don't know. I think I've heard some iPhone users talk about the video stops, the audio stops whenever you turn the screen off on the phone if you're listening to the YouTube video. Spotify, it don't care. You put it on Spotify and bring up the episode, and you can bring it up on audio. And then if we're talking about something that you want to see, you can just press a little button there on the app on your phone, and boom, the video comes on. You rewind it a little bit, and then you see exactly what we were talking about. So I think it's a great opportunity to be able to do both things. Oh, and there's no buffering. It immediately switches to the video and immediately switches back to the audio. So it's not inconvenient at all. Personally, I think it's a much wiser thing, a much wiser way to consume the show than YouTube. But YouTube's always there. People love YouTube. You can play it on your TV. So, yeah. I completely understand. Well, that's a wrap for tonight's Jeep Talk Show. Huge thanks to all of you guys being here and watching or listening to this episode. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging with us and the Jeep Talk Show family. We will see you next week, and love to have you be there. Let me know if you check this out on Spotify. Good night.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.
Christmas is my favorite time of year. Christmas is my favorite time of year. Everybody knows when it is near. Children yells and jingle bells, give me something no one sells, and fill that cup on up with Christmas cheer. Christmas is the time to celebrate. Throw some more of that turkey on my plate. Don't sit home, don't be alone. Call some friends up on the phone and fill that cup on up with Christmas cheer. I know what I'm gonna go and ask Santa for. I'm gonna get a present just for me. She's cuddly and she's sweet, a girl that I adore. Just put a gorgeous doll under my tree. Christmas is the time to celebrate. Throw some more of that turkey on my plate. Remember that you're not alone. Read some letters from back home and fill that cup on up with Christmas cheer. Santa for. I'm gonna get the only thing I need. A quick ride back to my hometown upon his sleigh, so I can have my darling here with me. Christmas is my favorite time of year. Everybody knows when it is near. Children yells and jingle bells, give me something no one sells, and fill that cup on up with Christmas cheer. And fill that cup on up with Christmas cheer.
Well...